Should I start?
Well, I had an idea.
Oh, good, me too.
Yeah.
Have you done this before? You do this all the time.
Yeah.
I've never done this. I can't even believe it. Wait, I just have to text my friend and tell him I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like this B minor kind of thing.
Is that what's going on around here these days? Are they doing like a B minor?
I mean, yeah, I don't know about. I'm not a.
So cool.
I don't know about chords. Or
Nashville, known worldwide as a serious music city. We say, would it kill you to laugh a little? It's Join with Video! Featuring Caitlin Cannon, Alice Wallace, Stuffy Schmidt, Dina Barabash. This week, Join with Video is at Starstruck Vintage. Special guests, Aaron Lee Tasjan. And now, your hosts, Scot Sax and Gina Frary Bacon. All right, we are at... Where are we?
Okay, let's start it.
Okay, we are at Starstruck, and they make trucks for the stars.
No, it's like that no game.
No, it's Starstruck.
Starstruck.
Straight
Struck
out.
by the stars.
All right. Oh, Starstruck.
Or you're starstruck, meaning like, if you saw David Bowie and you went,
Yeah. You just hit me twice.
You would be starstruck. Oh,
My mom does it
a
to me.
little tap.
She goes, "Did you know it? I'm like, Mom, will you stop hitting?"
Oh, I won't do that anymore then.
Yeah. Well, we're at Starstruck Vintage, and I don't know. I think a lot of these things were worn before, and I'm going to talk to the manager.
I wonder, you could do DNA tests on all these things and come up with all kinds of...
If they have it on the tag, like who wore it, where they were.
Yeah, the history of clothing. That's a whole... Can you imagine?
A backstory.
The backstory.
That's really, I like that idea.
Your clothes have a backstory. That's a good tagline.
That's like Manuel Delgado's thing.
Like these. It's probably worn on stage by people at some point. What's the backstory?
I'm definitely gonna buy something here.
Anything with fringe. That's like stage wear.
Yeah. But you can wear it at a funeral too. I think when country stars die, that's also, they wear the why do they call them nudie suits?
Nudie suit, because that's his name, Nudie.
Oh, for real?
Nudie, or his...
Oh.
Yeah,
So it has nothing to do with...
Not nude, no. Kind of the opposite.
I'm picking up
ironic.
from Madison that the answer would be no, it's not because they're suits to make you look nude. Got it. There's a place back in Philly called Nudies. Stay in touch. Thank you. See ya.
Thanks for shopping at Starstruck Vintage.
I like to say stay in touch to people that I'm pretty certain I'll never see ever again. Like toll booth people.
Oh,
You gotta tell toll booth people to stay in touch.
Stay in touch.
Well, can you look up for a second? I just wanted to Instagram. It's so cool. Oh wait, instead of like a feed, I'll do a story. Okay. Could you switch one chord as when we get the second?
Sure.
I don't have to. Okay. Okay, cool. Now the story. Okay, cool. Okay, so you were saying K?
Yeah.
B minor.
Yeah, I was thinking, something off of B minor maybe. I don't know.
Co-writing.
Um,
Hey, let's write a song about co-writing.
Yeah, that might be
Like
a little on the nose.
Co-writing. Can we, after this session, go? I saw this place. They have the Nashville flat, like it says Nashville on the side of a building. Mm-hmm. Would you take my picture in front of that?
Sut
And then just you could put like co-writingly yours, Aaron, or something.
Yeah. Speaking of things nobody's doing.
Okay.
That's kind of just like a falling minor.
Oh yeah, totally. That's a great idea. Falling minor.
Yeah.
No one cares about them when they get hurt.
Right.
So good.
Yeah, no, I was just more like I was just kind of naming the chord quality, but
I see what you're saying.
that we could do something with that.
Yeah, no, that's fine because I don't even know anything about minors or anything anyway.
Join with Video would like to thank our sponsors, the Nashvillian Drum Supply House, Mojave Audio, and LR Bags. I love Starstruck Vintage. First of all, that sound you hear that sounds like Xanadu, every time somebody walks in the door, that sound happens. And I think that's a great way to live. I wonder what Shane's alarm clock sounds like.
I wonder if something beautiful like that makes you happy to greet the day, you mean?
I invented an alarm clock idea last night. I'm gonna run it by you now.
Right.
Okay, a coffee grinder, alarm clock. So
Okay.
it wakes you up with the sound of beans being grinded. So it both wakes you up and gets the coffee thing going.
That's not a terrible way to, because the first thing I think of when I wake up is how long it's going to take me to get to my cup of coffee.
It's been done?
Well, they have those coffee makers with the...
technology, man, kind of, yeah.
But not as an alarm. We'll look into it
Your
after.
alarm goes off and then the coffee maker starts.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay, Madison Thorn once again harpooning my dreams.
Why you wear them daddy jeans? Why they call you sex machine? Why you always play that bass? Why you all get off my case? Why you always stare at me? Why you wanna marry me? What's the deal with your F-bombs? Why you gotta bust on my mom? Why you always go that way? Why you always spoiling me? Why you always just say, why you always snap at me? Why you always laugh at me? Why you always tell that joke? How come you don't like my approach? Why you always just say,
I hope they have Wi-Fi in heaven.
Oh, they better by now.
What if they have Wi-Fi in heaven, but you don't get the password, and that's hell? Like,
Where's that? Purgatory.
They have Wi-Fi in hell.
Purgatory.
What's purgatory? You're in between.
That's that
heaven
in
and hell?
between, yeah, where you're sort of nowhere.
Is that supposed to be not good?
That's buffering. You're buffering when you're
Well,
in purgatory.
This is purgatory. Well, our lives are purgatory, aren't we? Between heaven and hell.
I suppose if you want to look at it that way, you mean our whole existence is just a stop along the way?
I mean, I'm just saying it feels like between heaven and hell. Isn't life heavenly and hellish at the same time?
Yeah, story of my life. Every single day, every minute of every day.
It is. It's like, yeah. That's why people like to just sit on the beach.
Do you have a bathroom or a front door?
Well, how about like...
I like that last thing. Kind of reminded me something Johnny Lang wouldn't do.
No, I know, what's Jessica Lange? I bet if she got in touch with him, he could probably come in on a is that a word, a three-way co-write? I met a girl in a bar the other night, and she asked if I wanted to do a three-way, and I was so excited, and I was like, you know what, I don't know anyone else that writes songs,
Yeah.
so I can't do it.
I think a three-way is different than a three-way co-write, which I've always known as a throw-write.
You throw the third part, like they get the snake.
Throw them into the mix, yeah.
That's good. Should we do that? This is a Nashville co-write.
Yeah, it's something.
Oh, how about if loving you is co-write, I don't wanna co-wrong.
Yeah, that's...
Do you think it's like a Republican kind of thing, that phrase co-write? Yeah. Oh, this is so good. We could totally make this a song.
Yeah, I think it is a song.
No. It's totally not, dude.
It's pretty much Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones.
Who? In a long tooth comb,
Yeah.
there were clouds in the sky, where everybody roamed.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much exactly Jumpin' Jack.
And it's gonna be alright now. It's gonna be alright now.
It's amazing how your new ideas sound so much
I'm
like
gone in a flash.
their ideas that they've already.
Gone in a flash.
I mean, that's really on the nose.
So, alright, so is this 50-50, right? Do we put my name first or yours? Is like alphabetical order, or is like who really came up with the idea? Because I heard
Again, I
people,
think Mick
steal
Jagger and
stuff.
Keith Richards are the ones who really
You think
came
we-
up with it.
Oh, so it's like a foursome.
One thing that can take your mind off of things is coming into a place like this and trying on clothes and, sort of trying on different looks and seeing how things fit. And you lose time in a place like this.
Absolutely.
I'm Alice Wallace with the Postcast. Why predict when you can reflect? Last Monday. Weird. Tuesday, everybody was a meteorologist apparently and shrugged off our prediction of rain, only to be, well, all wet. Wednesday, I was in Europe, where vacation exaggeritis was in full regalia, and everything was amazing. Thursday, weather called in sick, it seems, and had a bad case of what felt like hot diarrhea all over everyone. And finally, Friday showed up with an it's all good attitude, as if the preceding day had never happened, leaving many bitter. Thank you. This has been the Postcast. I'm Alice Wallace.
What gets me out of bed on mornings when I'm like, no, or just like, again with this, life really is it's a new page, and you're like, sometimes you just don't feel like reading.
Right.
And the book is exhausting.
But you come in here like you
Yeah.
did, and you find those white shoes with the dice in the heels.
Yeah.
And I've never seen you so happy in your life.
I know. Well, I grew up on David Bowie, and I love, and I had a picture of Mick Jagger next to my bed, and I love fashion. I always have. And I was busier looking at like my mom's Vogue magazine than
Oh, you were?
Fishing Monthly or whatever. Yeah. Like I really have always loved fashion. And
What's cool about the 70s, too, and a lot of those people that you love is the androgyny. The dressing up was okay, and you can dress kind of flamboyantly or wear a scarf and shiny things, and, guys and girls and everybody. You can wear the chunky heels with the dice in them or the goldfish.
Aaron Lee Tasjan's a great example of
He's
like,
perfect example.
wear what you want to wear.
You don't know what it's like. That's what all the girls say. Can't find anyone not remotely like. That's what all the girls say. Either gay, cray, or unemployed. That's what all the
Hi, yes, I'm Tracy with Team Tony Romantico. I'm wondering if I could speak to Meadow.
It's Meadow.
Meadow. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
and-
so much. So I have Tony here in the corner. We're just waiting to get set up for our gig tonight, and I'm not seeing any sort of stage or banner or lighting situation. I'm just kind of wondering who can help me with that here.
This is a coffee shop.
Okay,
And
yeah. And let's elevate that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
let's really make it a wow tonight, is what I'm saying. So Tony is over there. He's ready. And I don't feel like your staff is, and I'm just kind of wondering where the disconnect is.
I think the disconnect. What is it?
It's Tracy.
Tracy?
Yeah, Tracy with Team Tony Romantico. I don't want to
So-
brag, but we have about 5,000 fans.
Right.
Yeah. Have you visited our YouTube channel at all?
I'm
or
sorry, I
Facebook?
run a coffee shop. I don't really have time.
Okay.
Perhaps there was a little bit of disconnect between us.
Okay.
We do folk music. We have a really mellow vibe here.
Okay, and I get that, and I love mellow, and
It's
I'm all
very.
about it, but what I'm
we're
saying,
not going to move things
Okay.
around. I mean, we have this, and thanks, Josh. So here, you can give that to this
Okay,
Tony romance guy.
This is unacceptable. This is what they're showing me.
It's
we
an
are not. I'm going to handle it.
acoustic-
I'm going to handle it. We're not going to use
It's
this.
an
It's fine.
acoustic guitar.
No, we're not using it.
You got me thinking like you did, like you did. This is stupid.
Okay, I gotta go.
I'll tell you, none of this would mean anything if it wasn't for Shane, the owner and operator of this store.
This amazing store. She's over there ringing people up as we
Because
speak.
you could walk into a store like this and have it be a grumpy person behind the counter. Prices that are like, really, dude? I
Yeah.
get really turned off when I go to a store that has cool stuff and the prices are just like, hey, come on.
Yeah, or there's a weird vibe.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff, but weird vibe.
It's not enough.
Doesn't make me want to hang
No,
around.
it's like somebody saying something beautiful with a chive on their tooth. This doesn't work.
Wait, do I have something on my table?
No.
Okay.
And
I don't think
you're-
I've had any chives
Yeah.
today.
No, you haven't.
I'm ch-
It's just the chaff talking.
WASS. We take out the class and put back the in classical music. You're listening to WASS. If you are the 15th caller, you are gonna get a box set of nothing. That's what we say like that. Request line. I would like to listen to Chopin, anything from the early 1800s. I would like to just say, this is a little Johan from Yo Man in the house. WASS. I would like to listen to something by anything by the gang, Wolfgang, and I would like to send it out to my girl, to my girls, and to my girl. WASS. We take out the class and put back the in classical music.
I was in this place and I, for some reason, remembered just how great the clothes are, but I forgot that the prices were like really good and just fair is what they are.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been in a while, and then I was looking at the prices and I was like, you know what, I forgot, like, your prices are totally like dealable. And she's like, yeah, I know. Why did you think of it? I was like, I just remembered how amazing that, because the store is really, it's just so well put together. It's just so well put together. It's not a schmata store. You know the word schmata?
Schmata.
You
I
were
do.
born in
I'm
Greenwich
from
Village.
New York. Yep. Schmata. Yiddish is a big part of my vocabulary.
Yeah, that's why you get me. It's not a schmata store where, it's like you go in and you go, oh, this is going to be like those places in LA where it's $500 for, a ripped pair of jeans that are bell bottom cut or whatever, flared. It's not that. It's just like, well, you can get like a whole outfit and still afford coffee. Not at Burst Parlor, but you can still afford coffee at whatever that place next door.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome everyone to the Prudential Insurance Bistro and Cafe, where the coffee is slow roasted and free trade. I'm here with James Dellis, and I'm Herb Schlater, and we're here to see Daisy Lapidus.
Thanks, Herb. This is a room she's played before. I think she's familiar with the feel of the room.
Yes, this is her hometown. Is that correct, James?
I think it's a hometown gig, yeah. That's right. It's got its advantages, it's got its disadvantages.
It does. People tend to know your catalog before you bring it out, so it's hard to bring a fresh feel to the gig. A lot of folks already know some of the tricks you have in your bag.
But sometimes in the pregame, they overdo it, and she did have, I noticed, 3 to 4 capos.
4 capos?
Yeah, I noticed the ladies like to bring a lot of capos to gigs. A lot of capos the ladies bring. Like the men folk, they bring pedals.
Men folk bring the pedals? Yeah. The pedals is a compensation.
Right, exactly. The men make up for the lack of with the pedals, and the ladies just like to change the mind a lot, so they bring the capos.
Yeah, I'm hearing that she's ready. Daisy's ready to take the stage.
We're taking a look at her now. We see. Can we get her? Yep, there she is. There she is.
She looks strong. She looks confident.
So what do you think of the crowd tonight, Herb?
There's not that many of them.
Not that many. Well, last season she was virtually unknown. This season she's just unknown.
Well, that's a big step up for a comer like this.
Let's go to the game now. What do you say, Herb?
I never knew how to love.
Starting with a nice mid-tempo. Yes. This is a lot of. I'm hearing the word "I" quite a bit in this, James. She's singing about herself. You want it to be more about the crowd at this point.
They want to see themselves. They want to see themselves.
They want to know that you recognize that they're in the room with you, and if it's all about just you, it's kind of a rookie mistake. It's not something she can't recover from, though.
Say, what's her name again?
Daisy Lapidus.
Yeah, and what I would say Daisy. You know, anytime I do that with my therapist sometimes. My therapist, his name is Kirk, and he'll give me some advice, and I'll just go Kirk. You say someone's name 3 times, it makes them think.
Yeah, well, I would say Daisy needs to have her name said more than 3 times, but not necessarily in public.
Next time somebody comes out and does a mid-tempo ballad, I'm going to do that thing the little kids do where they walk up to the guitar and just press the strings down.
Stop. Stop now.
The little kids know.
Yes.
They just stop the strings from ringing.
Someone's going to get hurt.
Oh, wait a second, Herb. I don't know if you see what I see. I don't know if you hear what I hear. She's detuning the E string. She is detuning the E string.
On the second song?
Who does a different tuning on the second song?
That's crazy. You've got to have movement. You got to push with the mo. You're looking to develop the mo, and when you detune, when you change the tuning of the guitar in the second song, you've just thrown away everything you were working
Coming
for.
as a former player myself, I would never detune a guitar. Everything was an A440.
I know. Yep. I know
A440.
you would. Yeah.
You don't detune a guitar.
Yeah.
You know what? When you bring the string down, you bring the bling down.
She's done tuning. She's starting up. What is this?
Oh! No.
James,
No.
That's a ballad, James.
Who does a ballad?
That is a ballad.
Who does a ballad second song?
Detuning and then into a ballad. One of the big problems of trying a ballad so early in the set, you're not really warmed up. You're trying to hold those long sustained notes.
You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there.
It's better to have that ballad later in the set when you're nice and warmed up and you can hold those sustained notes. But
let's take a look at last season.
Okay, bring it on.
Stop! You suck!
Okay, all right. So back to the game now. Okay, all right. The ballad is over. And what? Oh, announcing the website address. With the W's? You don't have to put the W's.
Everybody knows the W's.
You don't need the W. They can take it off the keyboard. You can take the W's off the keyboard.
The W's don't even have to be there.
Nobody knows the W. You don't need any of the W's. You don't need the dot. You don't even need to say anything. You can just think about somebody and it shows up on your computer. Well, we're mid-game. And I don't think the crowd's on her side quite yet. I think they're there for her, but I don't think they're there.
And the sad thing about that really is that the crowd is over 50% her family.
Did you notice that?
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, not another white girl with a guitar doing Angela Montgomery.
Oh.
She did not pull Angela Montgomery out her ass.
She did, James. She did.
Oh.
She's doing it.
What is it with the Angel of the Montgomery?
It just makes you think, are you going to do this better than Bonnie Raitt? Are you going to do this?
You know, I took a look at her website earlier today.
What did you see there, Jim?
They said that if you think Bonnie Raitt can sing, you haven't heard Amy Lapidus.
Oh no!
Yeah. Who puts down Bonnie Raitt?
You cannot do that.
No.
You cannot do that.
If Bonnie Raitt don't put down Joni Mitchell on her website.
No. Just tell the world you're better than the Beatles and have done with it.
And if I see one more bio that says I've been singing my whole life, nobody cares. Everybody's been singing their whole life. Everybody been singing. Spiro Agnew been singing his whole life. Yep. That don't mean he's a good singer.
No, does not mean he's a good singer, and he was not a good singer.
I pick one into the
Well,
guitar.
it looks. Yep. Yes, she has dropped the pick, James. She has, and it went in the sound hole.
Oh no.
So it takes a while for me.
We know how a pro would handle this.
Is she going to recover from this? Is she? She's still floundering.
She's on the spot for banter.
She is still.
We got to. This is where we're going to see if she's a pro or an amateur.
You would think that Daisy would have her own second pick.
She's connecting with maybe she planted it.
Let's look at that moment again, James. Let's have the instant replay on the dropping the pick moment.
Let's go to the instant replay.
And you see that moment, that look in her eyes, that moment when the pick has left her hand. Yeah, that fear, that is the little deer in the headlights moment.
Deer in the headlights.
This is what it's all about right here, James. This is a make it or break it move here. It wasn't handled as smoothly as I would have liked, not as smoothly as I would have anticipated, but it doesn't seem to have hurt her too much. She needed that goodwill connection with the audience, and in the end, this might have been a good thing, James.
I think we're going into extra innings.
Extra innings?
That's what happens when you play a hometown gig.
Is this really called for, James? That's the question that comes to mind. Is this really called for?
When 80 to 137% of your audience is family, you're going to get extra innings. You're going to get the love of the hometown.
You got a point there. You do make a good point.
She's coming back for the encore.
People have enough upset in their own lives. They don't come to get upset from the entertainers. They come for entertainment.
That's right. You got to enter them, and you got to tame them.
Yeah. Yes.
Get in and get out.
Yeah.
And let them feel tamed.
There you go. There you go. That is the name of the game, tainment. On behalf of James Dellis and myself, I'd like to wish you all a good evening from the Prudential Insurance Cafe and Bistro.
Boy, it's been fun shooting at Starstruck Vintage today. There's so
Film.
many. Oh, film?
You gotta watch the shooting line.
But it's not film. See, I have a thing about that.
What is it?
It's video.
Do
Well,
they
it's
shoot?
digital. It's not even video
Who
anymore.
knows what even does it?
Yeah.
All right.
But
let's-
shoot is, has connotations.
Yeah. All right,
so
start again.
We
You
need a
could say-
better word.
We had fun digitizing here today. Shane Marcus owns it, operates it, always the one behind the counter.
Hands on.
All the time. It's never, not that it's bad to have other people, but you're always speaking to the owner and curator when you come in here. And she is absolutely one of the grooviest people. It's a great store. Check it out. It is across from, what's that place? Honey?
Local honey.
Local Honey?
Local Honey, right near the corner of Eastland and Gallatin.
Yeah, and they moved. They're in the same dwelling, basically, but they were around the corner.
I call this the octopus building, or that, because of the giant octopus that wraps itself around the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so. Starstruck Vintage, and I'm starstruck every time I come in here because this is an amazing experience. And we want to thank them, and we had a great time.
We did.
Yeah. What happened to her head?